On my kicker tonight, I am intrigued by remarks made in recent days by two fairly consequential and rather well-known Kenyans, Governor Francis Kimemia of Nyandarua County and Dr. Roslyn Akombe, the former IEBC commissioner who fled the country fearing for her life in the wake of the bungled 2017 presidential election. Let me start with the latter, Dr. Akombe. In an apparent reference to the appointment of former IEBC CEO Ezra Chiloba as the Director General of the Communications Authority, CA, Dr. Akombe took to Twitter and quipped, "And with the appointment of the new CAA Director General, 2022 is sealed." And in response to demands that she elaborates what she meant, Dr. Akombe replied, "CA, meaning Communications Authority, is equal to the electronic transmission of results." End of tweet. Now, I won't pretend to decode what Dr. Akombe was saying in her tweets, but I can only imagine that as a former commissioner of IEBC and one whose management of the 2017 presidential election was harshly censured by the Supreme Court, Dr. Roslyn Akombe knows what she is talking about. And as the commissioner that evidently broke ranks with the IEBC over the management of an election that was eventually nullified by the Supreme Court, Dr. Akombe cannot be taken lightly, and her tweets, short as they are, cannot be ignored. Then there is Francis Kimemia, the governor of Nyandarua, a former long-serving public administrator, a man who has not only walked the corridors of power, but also worked the levers of power as Office of the President Permanent Secretary, Head of Public Service, and Secretary to the Cabinet. My colleague Sam Gituku nearly got more than he bargained for in a recent interview here on the Daybreak Show. Gituku got Kimemia talking on a taboo topic called deep state.
When you're talking about the state, of course the state exists.
Yes.
The state exists, but I can assure you it could be deeper than deep. It could be deeper than deep. And honestly, if you have two candidates, say at the rate of 50-50, and the deep state, or backs one, then you can be sure that that one will win the election. And I don't need to say much, but there's something else we're also ignoring. And I said the candidate must be credible and appointed and electable, and that becomes very, very important. Even if the deep state were to support a candidate, but we are forgetting also the international angle. This country has a lot of interests from the international, and they also influence a lot. I can assure you from where I sat, they influence a lot.
How so?
In many ways that I can't discuss here, but many ways. So if they combine with the so-called deep state, you can be sure your goose is cooked.
Goose is cooked. In what amounted to an unprecedented admission, Governor Kimemia admitted there is a role of the state and the international community in the outcome of elections in Kenya, a role he did not quite clarify.
I mean that you have to rig elections, but I think we're intelligent people. We know, citizens also very keen to see that popular candidates win elections. And if these people are going to, if the preferred candidate is going to continue to ensure continuity, either regime continuity or ideological continuity or material, continuity, or the status quo, whatever is preferred.
And so intrigued I remain, as you should be, by what Governor Kimemia and Dr. Akombe are saying, or indeed not saying. Previously on this platform, we tried to decode the meaning of various catchwords such as system and even deep state. The latter, deep state, finds its origins in the massive American intelligence community that includes the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, and the National Security Agency, NSA, among others. In Kenya, when we talk about the system, one would assume that it would follow the same pattern, meaning the National Intelligence Service, NIS, Directorate of Criminal Investigation, DCI, or even the National Security Council, NSC. But unfortunately, that is not always the case. In Kenya, especially in recent years, the word deep state has become associated with small but very consequential cliques that control the levers of state power. They are tight-knit circles made of power-meddling individuals, some holding powerful state positions, while others derive influence through political or blood connections to those in power. What I'm saying is, calling this a system or deep state in the American sense of the concept is a misnomer. In Kenya, deep state or system is mainly a polite word for bad manners committed in the name of the state. It is a word that pops up when political wrongs are committed, and this happens especially around election time. And some of those acts are as nasty as costing lives and are always clouded in mystery, which is why, whether it's Governor Kimemia talking or Dr. Roslyn Akombe tweeting, mention of the words deep state should get you listening. That is my kicker.